I am exhausted. I just watched the Fast 9, F9, Furious 9, what's even the name? Something 9. And I'm exhausted. Someone please make it stop.
It's time to stop!
Make it stop. I can't believe what I just watched. Before I start, let's get a word from our sponsor. Ha! No sponsors. If you want me to get sponsors, make sure you like and leave a comment, share with your friends, and yeah, I'll have myself some sponsor. Let me get that YouTube money. Yep. So yeah, sadly watched Fast 9. Action, thriller, adventure, I think so. Fantasy, sci-fi, it's everything. Romance, nah. No, it's everything. It's an action, adventure, thriller, sci-fi, and fantasy in one movie. Mainly an action film, but trust you me, I slept 3/4 way into it. I just woke up, finished it, and then decided to do a review in it. How do you sleep in an action film that has explosion, cars, weird stuff? I don't know. Maybe I had a long day or something, but I slept. I have watched the entire Fast and Furious saga with my boy Steezy. We did a binge watch of it for like 4 days, watching all of them back to back every night, back to back, way back when we used to stay together in uni. That was some fun stuff. Like every time after classes, I'll just run home to make sure I watch. We watch together the back to back Fast and Furious, and then here I am doing a review of Fast 9. I swear, even Marvel has done a better job, and it's a superhero film, and this one is just an action film. But I swear Marvel has more realism in their movies, being a superhero genre, and this one is an action. Like I'm just tired. I'm just thinking, after you've done the editing, everything, how do you rewatch this movie with the shareholders and then decide, I think people will enjoy this? Unless you're brain dead, that's how you would enjoy this movie. Because everything else in this movie doesn't make sense at all. Nothing. So everything in this movie was just stupid and dumb. Everything. I think that's what they were going for. I hope so. If that's what they were going for, it worked. Because it was stupid and dumb in every sense of the way. So the movie is generally a backstory of how what happened between Don Jacob, who is the brother, and John Cena, played by John Cena, and then what happened to their father and the results from there. We've had Don speak about what happened to the father that made him go to jail for like 2 years, but we've never had him mention the brother, never at all. And then he just appears out of nowhere. I think that's why they cast John Cena, because you know, you can't see me. It's never been seen, never been heard before, until the directors decided, you know what? Since everyone has a brother, Don has a brother. For someone who is obsessed with having family and family values, how would he not mention having a brother?
Your brother never told you never threaten a man's family? That you never turn your back on family? There's always room for family. Salute, mi familia. Salute. Salute. I don't have friends. I got family. What's real It's family.
Doesn't make sense. The script doesn't make sense. The scenes don't make sense. Even the logistics of this movie doesn't make sense. How they move from one place to another. They have a, I don't know, teleportation machine. There's one they explain that they were moved by the military, but other places you just hear it's in London, and then the next scene they even have cars in London. They're just driving in London, and then you're like, how did you get here? How did you get that car here? What is happening? So at one point I decided, you know what, I'll stop asking questions. I'll just watch it like a brain dead person. And that's when I slept, by removing logic and any working brain cells. I fell asleep, because that's what the movie is, just dead, stupid and dumb. So the movie has so many flashbacks of Vin Diesel and John Cena, the younger selves, trying to explain to us what happened, and probably they should just remove everyone, just do a movie of the flashback, because that was the only good scenes that I saw there. They had emotions, they had character development, they had legit racing, though it was just for like a millisecond before the dad died before the dad died, and then yeah, that's it. But those flashbacks were some of the most emotional and character developing moments in this film. I'm going to take you through some of the dumbest things that happened in this movie. I'm not going to go to the science of it, because this would turn to a 2-hour movie review, which doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to take you through the dumbest shit that happened here. So one of the things that happened is they decide to go, I don't know where, I don't even remember the country, but it felt a bit African, I'm not sure, but they decide to go take some airplane that crashed there that has Mr. Nobody. Yep, Nobody from the other movies. Yeah, so he was here also. He's the one that pulls them to their adventure. And then now we see that the characters, when they go there, they try to get they get a safe box that has some stuff that they were supposed to get, a part of something. Doesn't make sense what that part is at that point, but the military attacks them, and then that's when they get into the minefield. So the weird thing about this minefield is that they are by Ludacris, they explains that they have to drive 80, I hope it's 80 miles per hour, so that they can be able to pass the mines before they explode. So they do this a lot of times, and then you see the cars passing and then the explosion. It gets so confusing that there's places you see the mines explode in front of them, and then you're like, who triggered that mine to explode? What happened? What triggered? They're not even there, but explosions are happening in front of the cars, in front, at the sides, behind makes sense from behind, in front makes no sense, at the sides makes no sense, but you know, it's that. No one dies. Tyrese hits like, I don't know, 3 mines and doesn't die.
You serious?
Because you know, Fast and Furious, no one dies. No one actually dies in this since we watched. Yeah, no one has died in this movie. Even Paul Walker, who actually died in real life, is still in these movies. Yeah, because at one point they decide to leave the young little Brian home, and then later on in an exposition we get to learn that they left the child with Brian. So Brian is still in this. So right now Brian was doing babysitting. So Brian is dead in real life, RIP to him. But in the movies he's still there. So actually no one has ever died in the Fast and Furious apart from the villains. Have there been any villains that died? But the main characters, and they are quite a lot, no one dies despite everything that happens. And that takes me to my second point. Tyrese is surrounded by almost 15 guys with AK-47s, and he has one himself. And this guy, they are standing on an upper area, so they have a very good view of him, and he's below, and they have surrounded him. And this guy manages to kill all 15 of them without them hitting him once. They all hit the bulletproof vest, all 15 of them, as many as they were. And he does the dumbest thing. He just does this and kills all of them. And then we get this scene, which was in the trailer. We get Vin Diesel doing a Spider-Man web swing with his car. So what happened is there is a bridge, but before that there's also something dumb that happened. There's a bridge, but the bridge gets blown off by one of the cars as Ludacris and Tyrese are passing the bridge. So they are a quarter way into the bridge between two cliffs, and the bridge is blown. And then they decide to run like how they do in Tom and Jerry through the falling bridge. And we get those moments. Have you ever seen when someone in a movie falls from a cliff, but they haven't fallen, they just hang by the side, and then after a while they appear? So that's what they did with the car. They even gave it that scene that you see them fall, and then out of nowhere the car comes back up. How? Like, what was it holding on to so that it can come back up? What force was it? So then the bridge is broken, and then Vin Diesel is coming with his American muscle and decides, you know what, there's no bridge, I'm just going to wing this. And then he hits the my god, he hits the rope that held the bridge, and then the car swings. And then after a while the tension holds the right tire, and then it swings them off to the other cliff, hits the cliff, spins and comes to a still. And then all of them are just there, no scratch, nothing, no blood, nothing. They're just there like. And then the wife is like, wow, that's something new.
You serious?
Yeah. You know, to some point, I think they decided let's do the dumbest things that we can, and not even put some scientific facts in there, and just let's do this. Let's just fuck shit up, because it's not that they are superheroes like Marvel. When you see Iron Man doing something and you're thinking, what's the science behind that? But they are superheroes. They're supposed to do extraordinary things. But these people are street racers, and that's one thing I would want you to take as you're watching this movie. These guys are not trained assassins. They are not military. They are not super spies. They are not superheroes. They are street racers. street racers, and they have done some of the weirdest stuff. So to make this shit even weirder, apart from the plot, which the plot is a bag of shit at this point, but you know, that's Fast and Furious for you by now. So we get to see the plot. The plot is that there are two devices. When put together, they can destroy the world it can hack the whole of the world. It's something that Fast and Furious do. They have some technology that can control the world. This one, we don't even get to see how it's used. Like, how does it destroy? How? Give me one example where they get to do that. Since you have this budget to do some insane shit, at least give us one thing so that we can have the feel of the stakes that are in this movie. Like, we saw what they did in that town. They hacked everything and destroyed everything. So let's not let this happen to the world. But we just told this and this, if put together, can hack all the war infrastructure in the world, and the world would end as we know it, and the world powers would collapse and some shit. Just some exposition to make sure that we know the stakes. But why would you tell me? Show me, do a sample of it on a town or somewhere so that you can see how this one is going to affect the whole world. So we get a sample, and then we have an idea of how this would happen globally. But we don't get that. We get these people having some stuff that looks put together, looks like a ball. I hope it's like their Infinity Stones in terms of a Fast saga. So if put together, they can cripple the world. How? We don't know. But you know, they said it, so it has to go. So they get these magnets that they decide to use as part of their weapons in their car. So what happens is that they put the magnets in their cars, and then they can pull anything they would want. Anything. These guys can pull me here if I'm wearing something metallic to London if they wanted to. And weirdly, their magnet does not work two ways. Like, if you have a magnet here and a metal here, there are two ways. It's either this one comes here or the metal comes here. But to them, no. It's always everything comes to the magnet, not the other way around. No, it's always everything. And selective thing. Before even I get to the magnet issue, we get to see the lady. I don't remember the lady who was in Game of Thrones, and then also a shit series at the end. And I think she has some bad juju when it comes to sagas like the Game of Thrones. The last season's shit. This one's the last season shit. I think it's something to do with her. She has some bad juju. So we get to see her never drive a car before, and she confesses this. And then we get a few minutes of her trying to get exactly how it works. But from there on, she's like a pro. She's racing head to head with this guy who's driving a sports car, and she's driving a truck, and they're just head to head. Like, how does she know how to do this? And then that's when she switches on the magnet and then pulls the car from the other streets through a building and into the cars, to the truck's cargo. Just fits itself in there. Didn't pull anything else, just the car. No spoons, no chairs, no nothing else metallic that is in that area. No other car, no bikes, nothing. Just pull the whole car, put it there, and that's it. I'm like, And then there was this running rumor, it was on Twitter, people trolling Fast and Furious, saying that at this point they should go to space. These guys decides, you know what? Challenge accepted. And then you get the guys from Tokyo Drift, the guys who are street racers. Right now, they are rocket scientists. Yeah, the guys in Tokyo Drift, one of the worst Fast and Furious before this, now as rocket scientists. And these are the guys that make them go to space. So Ludacris and Tyrese go to space and then do some shit there that I'm not going to go into, because the fact that they go to space with a car is enough for me, so I'm going to leave that there. And then we get this scene where Vin Diesel is surrounded by 20 guys. I swear to you, there were 20 guys. This guy is alone. This guy fights off all the 20 guys. Yep, he doesn't have superpowers. Remember, he's a street racer. Yep, he's a street racer. Fought off 20 military trained men. Their work is to fight, and they are paid to do this. In terms of the movie, you know, they are paid to by the villain to fight and to protect him and to fight anyone opposing him. Vin Diesel is a street racer, but this guy fights off 20 guys by himself. At one point, they overcrowd him, and then they are just on him, and then he's down there. They're just punching, kicking him, and then he sees the girlfriend, and with the power of the family, he wakes up, does some weird stuff, breaks necks, breaks back, breaks legs, throws people off, takes one chain, the other chain, and pulls the roof down. Samson, yeah, biblical stuff, pulls the house down. And also on some biblical stuff, Jacob also was in the Bible, who is the brother to Don, was one of the sons that stole the blessings of the firstborn son, and then later on he fights technically God, he fights an angel. So yeah, I think that was something that they were trying to do. So I think Vin Diesel is the angel in this. Yeah, so this guy Samson's his way out of this, falls into a pit. Everyone else that falls on this pit has died, but when he falls into the water. Nothing from the wreckage hits him, and then the wife who was locked out appears and saves him as he's having a flashback, and then later on he wakes up, because you know no one dies in this stuff. You know, by now you should be knowing this, so you're just watching it for the sake of watching it, because you know, despite whatever happens, even if he gets shot directly in the head, he won't die. He won't die. On the topic of dying, we've had the girlfriend to Vin Diesel die, and then that emotion of him losing the girlfriend is later torn into pieces by the girlfriend having to come back, but with amnesia. You know, that's the damn stuff that happens in soap opera, that you don't think someone in the US of A, a superpower in terms of intelligence and in terms of Hollywood, like the biggest show business in the world is Hollywood. You don't think someone would think this shit is too dumb for such a blockbuster movie. Like, the girlfriend dies but is not dead, she's alive, she just lost her memory. This is something that happens in a telenovela. Why would you put it in a movie? Then Hon, who died in Tokyo Drift and led to Hobbs and Shaw and led to Jason Statham coming onto the franchise to revenge. And the revenge that set everything in motion was the death of Han. So in this movie, you know what happens? It's not even a spoiler since they showed it in the trailer. The worst thing about this movie, everything that they would have done as a surprise to make this movie more entertaining, these damn people went and put it in the trailer. So you have nothing to expect. Because everything was shown in the trailer. There is nothing new that happens that is not shown in the trailer. Nothing at all. Nothing. So Han apparently did not die. How did he escape from an exploding car, you ask? We don't know. We are just shown a replay of that. And then I think this guy uses a hologram of Han to drive the car and for the car to roll and to explode. So when it's exploding, Han and Mr. Nobody are just there watching it. And then he said, that's a very nice trick.
You serious?
Like, how can you explain to us how someone that has resorted to almost 2 movies being made because of the death, because of his death, explain to me how this guy is still alive? And then this guy decided, you know what, we're going to say it was an hologram that was driving the car that was killed, not the real guy. And then they go ahead and during the movie try to make it feel like it's a reveal. And we already saw it in the trailer that this guy is alive, but they send us to some shit they would have cut off from this movie and make it shorter so that it didn't get to slip off. But they have the girlfriend and Brian's wife, Vin Diesel's sister, go on a mission to find, not to find Han because they know he's dead, but to find out if they can get the key to operating that device that does whatever it does. So they go there, and then we get to see shadows of someone watching them. And then one time when Vin Diesel's girlfriend is almost to a point of getting killed, which we know would never happen, but someone somewhere, we don't know who it is, wink wink, has a sniper and kills off the bodies. And then we get a shot from behind, a close up, trying to reveal who it is. We already know who it is. You showed us in the trailer. Then why are you trying to make this a big reveal? Just show us the guy and continue with the damn script. So after this, we get to see Han come back, and then I'm just tired. This has to be the worst Fast and Furious. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie I've seen this year since I've seen Misfits. I would want to do a video of that, but I think I need to do some meditation before. But Misfits was one of the worst movies I've ever seen this year. My God, there is 365 days, and then there's Misfits, and then there's Fast 9. Those are like the worst 3 movies I've seen 2020 to 2021. Yep. And I don't think anything can top any of those 3 movies. Nothing. So yeah, if you want to watch this movie, you can watch it, but watch it knowing that this is one of the dumbest movies you're going to see. You would have to switch off all your brain cells from working for you to enjoy this movie. Apart from that, you'll have a bazillion questions on why you're watching this, why this was released, why anything is happening in this movie, and then so you can go and watch it. You can see my other videos also here. You can see my other videos, my other reviews on other movies. I have watched a good movie and I'm going to do a review of it in my next video, and weirdly it's Kenyan and it's free on YouTube. Imagine. So just make sure you like, you subscribe, and then you can switch on the notification bell so that you can always know on time when I've released a video. It can come as a notification on your phone, and then you can be one of the first to watch and react to my videos. And that's all, guys. Do not watch Fast 9. Save yourself. I just wasted like 2 hours of my life watching that. But other than that, I'm coming back with some very good news. Peace.